Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Two Toe Tags Metal Reviews, and today we're giving you guys our first impressions of the new Jinjer album titled Macro. So, not only did we check out, I think, 2 music videos from this album, which we enjoyed the songs and we enjoyed the videos as well, we also reviewed the EP that this band released called Micro earlier this year on our EP special. So there's a lot happening for this band this year, and I'm loving all of it.
Yeah, same here. These guys are definitely on the rise. They're growing in popularity. We had a poll to decide which album we were going to do this week, and this album won by pretty much a landslide. So a lot of people are hyped for this. I'm hyped for this. TV Fish is hyped for this. I think this is going to be a doozy.
Oh yeah, and you know what? Their last album, King of Everything, was awesome. I think that's an underrated album, and I'm really excited for Macro. So, we're going to listen to the album for the very first time in its entirety. We'll be right back to give you guys our first impressions. So stay tuned. Alright, so we just listened to Macro for the very first time in its entirety, and I have to say this album is pretty damn good. Wow, like every song, honestly, there was no bad song on this album. Everything was cool, had something cool in its own right. For me, best track is a 3-way tie between the first track, On the Top, which is the second music video we reacted to.
Yep.
And Pausing Death, track number 5. And the last track, Liner Rep, which is Perennial Backwards, which is in reference to a song from Micro, the EP, called Perennial, which I believe we reacted to as well. That had a video?
I believe so, yeah, if I'm remembering correctly, yeah.
So, that's a cool little thing there. Now, to go through these songs, I mean, On the Top, like, has everything. It has an awesome, catchy hook that sounds cool. It hits hard, you know, it's syncopated, it gets you jumping. All the songs get you jumping, but the fact that this one is, like, out the gate like this, like, sick opening track. Pausing Death, there's this one scream that Tatiana does, like, right when the bridge is about to start, that's just so vicious and, oh, it got me right when it got there, and the ending is just so just encroaching right on you. It's so powerful. Like, that song is sick. And the last track, Liner Up,
Perennial.
I mean, it is, but it's not.
I'm just gonna call it Perennial. It says Perennial, it's just spelled backwards.
Perennial already exists.
The P is capitalized.
There can't be 2 perennials like that.
Perennial in a mirror.
Anyway, it's so spacious. Like, this song is honestly perfect for a closer for this album.
Yeah.
Like,
I
you
agree.
know, I remember mentioning, like, oh man, I like how spacious this is. It's got this piano and vowels. Like, yeah, I hope it doesn't, like, break out into some syncopated stuff like the rest of the album, and it doesn't do that. It's just totally open-ended. Got some guitar in there, you know, some clean vocals. Like, overall, it's just so pretty sounding.
Well, the best part about it is you have about 40 minutes of pure onslaught, and then you have this 5 minutes of just this open space ambience. It's got piano intro, you got this whisper singing, it's a bit of a slow walker type of song, some synth in there. You've got a lot of things going on, but nothing's too overwhelming, and it just takes you away.
And it builds up too, and has a big payoff as well. Like, it's a really well put together song.
But it doesn't ramp up to the point where it
doesn't slam you in the face.
It's like blast beats, like
no.
a lot of the other songs.
It ramps up and then has just kind of like a big kind of moment near the end.
Yeah, which is cool.
Yeah.
And like I said, it just takes you away. It's a great ending track. It definitely, it's closes the album off very well.
It's so well with that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, like, the grooves, the riffs are sick. It's bumping, jumping, like, you can really just dig right into this. And it's not, like, overly complex, like, what are they doing? What is this? Like,
most of the time it's not, but sometimes I was like, what the fuck?
I guess maybe for me, I was totally fine. Like, they deep-rooted it well enough, like the drums. First of all, the drums. This guy is sick. Holy shit. Yeah. I loved how many ghost notes he was sprinkling in, like, everywhere.
Dude, the ghost notes on this album were getting me giddy. Like, they were just everywhere.
They're so subtle, too.
Well, that's what ghost notes are. They're subtle things,
like,
but you don't hear them enough. Not enough drummers do it, and I'm also glad at that, because then when you hear it on something like this, it makes it that much more special. But this guy does it a lot, and it's always freaking awesome.
He was just going wild on some of these tracks, like filling up so much space, just throwing out tons of different stuff. Like, this guy is probably the MVP of the album.
It's hard to say at this point, man. Like, the vocals are amazing.
That's also true.
The bass lines are amazing.
Also true.
And the guitaring is wild and all over the place, but also amazing. These guys gel together so well.
Maybe I'm just biased as a drummer to drift towards that. I don't know.
I would agree with that. As far as the time signatures go and the syncopation and stuff like that, for the most part, it seemed okay. It is pretty progressive.
I don't think it's too much for people that aren't really into like that kind of stuff. Like
it's not.
Everyone
That's probably why I like it a lot, because the more progressive you get, the less I tend to like things. So this is kind of right on that line where I can really dig it and it's not too much for me. Song number 7 though, Home Back. This song had some crazy switches in it. Like, I could not count this song for certain parts, but it settles to a comfortable 4/4 for a lot of it. And then I'm pretty sure there's some polyrhythms in there, which I was trying to count at one point. And you even asked me, like, you quizzed me, hey, what's the time signature on this? And I told him, I said, I think this is a polyrhythm, a 3/4 and a 6/8. And he's like,
it was 7.
It's a 7. I'm like, okay, so I was counting wrong, or I was doing something, but
I don't know, maybe they were doing 4 against 3, but I counted 7.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's extremely hard to count on a first listen when you're trying to pay attention to everything at once. Like, we're gonna go back and we're gonna revisit this stuff, and we'll probably have better answers for you guys next week.
I think it's probably 7.
Probably a 7.
Pretty confident.
You're a lot better at counting than I am. I struggle a little bit.
To mention about that song though, the thing that did it for me with Home Back was how much things changed. Yeah. It started with this swing groove that completely caught me off guard, and then went away from that, did, you know, some syncopated stuff. And then near the end, it's got this quiet bit with like a shaker, I think. It would kind of sound like a shaker in it.
Yeah, there's stuff like that sprinkled throughout the album too.
And I'm just like, what the hell is this? Like, a lot of the songs do have quiet moments, but that, not counting the last track, which was the entire song. But the songs that are active, that have quiet moments, the Home Back one is probably the best one. At least I enjoyed that one the most.
Yeah, that was actually one of my downfalls for this album, is that I think every song had very similar structure in the way where, like, they'd have their intro, which is always pretty badass. They'd go into a bunch of like gent crazy stuff, and then always about 2/3 through the track, it dipped down and had a bit of a quiet part with some clean vocals and stuff like that, and then ramped back up towards the end. Not a problem with that, but I just wish that it wasn't so similar structurally throughout the entire album. Not really a bad thing, but I wish they switched the structure up a bit more.
Yeah, that's a good test for this week, honestly. Like, to see if a similar structure is going to get tiring to you, or if you enjoy it enough that, fuck, I love all these songs.
Yeah, and you mentioned something a second ago that I want to comment on. Oh yeah, the swing. You mentioned the swing in one song, that was cool. There was also another song, which was Pausing Death, track number 5, which had a lot of funk to it. And then there is track number 3, Judgment and Punishment, which has the reggae.
They had a reggae groove. I completely forgot about that because we reacted to that music video.
And which song was it where Tatiana was singing in Ukrainian? That was.
I think it might have been Retrospection.
I didn't I noticed it, but didn't make a note. But there was another. Yeah, she sings in her native tongue.
I think it was Retrospection. And it sounded like it would have been.
That was also cool. Just those things add the diversity that we're always talking about on this channel. We like those things that change things up and give each track its unique identity. This album has that all over the place.
Yeah.
Like, even though a lot of it's similar in a lot of ways, which kind of just makes it an album, it all has its own identity and it all stands out in its own way, which is awesome.
Like, it's a well-rounded album. Like, just everything was good. There was no real bad things I can say about it, at least based on a first impression.
One more thing I'll add before we wrap this video up, because we're running a little long, I think. And we're okay. Blast beats. I wasn't expecting it.
Neither was I.
This guy does a lot of blast beats, and hearing the gent guitars with the blast beats going on, like, I don't know any other band that does that.
I've never really heard something like that before.
It just sounds so fresh, and they're freaking awesome. He doesn't just do one style of blast beats either. There's a couple different variations he does, which is also very cool. And like, he's ending songs with blast beats. He's like doing blast beats during choruses. And it's like, they're not all over the place. Like, this is not just a death metal album.
Yeah, no, not at all.
They're tastefully done, and they're tastefully implemented at the perfect times.
And there was one song, track number 8, The Prophecy, which was probably had the most of it. Like, that was a really thrashy song. Among all of them, like, that one really dug in a lot more.
So my notes for that song, it says blast beats. A bunch of awesome stuff happens, then more blast beats. It's like, there's so much there's so much content going on. It's really hard to keep up and write notes with everything that's going on. Can't even comprehend, right? But I'm just noticing these blast beats are just coming out of nowhere, and I'm like, yes, give me more of that. Actually, you know what, don't give me more. You gave me the perfect amount, to be honest, which is really cool. My highest rated song was Pausing Death, if I could just throw that in there. I really like the breakdown of that one. That's the one where the blast beats are during the chorus. And that's also the one that has a bit of funk during the verses, grooves, which is cool. So, I don't know, guys, lots and lots of good stuff that we're saying. So, I mean, this is going to be a promising week. I think this is going to be one of those albums where we're going to find a lot of stuff out about it. Particularly, I'm going to pay as much attention as I can to the guitaring, because I feel like the drums were so overwhelming.
Yeah.
So, like my attention was so focused on the rhythmic portion of the album that I don't think I gave the guitars enough focus listening to it. Like, I really want to give that a more of a chance throughout the week, but I'm definitely going to focus on a lot of it and see where it goes.
Oh yeah, we're both really excited to get through this album, like throughout the entire week, and that's all we got for you guys today. Remember to like the video if you like it, comment, tell us below if you love this album as much as we do on a first impression, because we both thought this album was sick.
Yeah.
And subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm TV Fish.
And I'm Vile Self.
And we'll see you guys later.